It's been a highly debated topic in UK politics for 5 years now. A €16.5 billion project to expand Europe's largest airport, London Heathrow. The Department for Transportation said that a third runway and increased air traffic would provide a huge boost to the UK economy for the next 60 years. But today, the UK Court of Appeal has announced their decision that they will be blocking these plans for expansion, based solely on environmental reasons. They said that when the 2018 Conservative government passed plans for this expansion, they did not give enough consideration for the UK's commitments under the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. Now, it's an important victory and one that has been hailed as such by a number of environmental groups, including Friends of the Earth, one of the groups that helped bring this case. They said that this was a historic and groundbreaking result for both climate justice and for future generations. Meanwhile, the teenage Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg, she also added her thoughts on Twitter, saying, imagine what it would be like if other governments and other countries, if they also considered the Paris Agreement more with their future plans. But it's not just environmentalists, it's also ministers and politicians across the UK spectrum, including the Minister for Environment and International Development, Zach Goldsmith, who also said on Twitter that the decision to block these expansion plans was huge. But there is an important nuance to note here, and that is that the court's decision does not mean that there will never be a third runway at Heathrow. The emphasis is now on the UK government to reconsider these plans for expansion under the Paris Agreement and under this ruling. Now, Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister, he has previously been vocal in his opposition to a third runway, previously saying that he would lie in the way of the bulldozers. And it's been confirmed from both his office and from the Transport Secretary, Grant Shapps, that there would not be a government appeal to this decision. But of course, there are those who are opposed to the court ruling, including Heathrow Airport themselves. A very interesting statement that they released. I want to show you some key points here. They said that they are confident that in their appeal for this decision, they will be successful. They say they are committed to this expansion plans under the Paris Climate Agreement, and that a third runway is crucial for Boris Johnson's post-Brexit plans for a global Britain. They actually end that statement by saying, let's get Heathrow done, terminology that we're all too familiar with. But with no apparent government appeal to this court decision pair, it certainly seems like this will be a huge hurdle for those expansion plans at Heathrow.